Hi, welcome to the Camp W Virtual Open House. Whether it's morning, afternoon, or nighttime and you're watching this, my name is Evan Wofsy, the camp director, and I'm going to talk all about Camp W and inform you on everything you want to know. So, Camp W is located in Melville, Long Island. We're a 9-week camp program. That's right, 9 weeks. So, normally when camps end after 8 weeks, you have that 1 week layover before school starts. Well, our working parents do not fear because we're the entire summer. We're from June 29th till August 28th. We're a traditional day camp for campers pre-K through 9th grade, and we're a member of the American Camping Association. So let's look at some numbers right now. So we average about 375 campers on site per week. We enroll over 500 campers total. 80% of our counselors are school teachers during the year. 70% of our staff come back summer after summer because they love working at Camp W. And we have a 5-to-1 camper to staff ratio. So some camp information. The average camper will come to us for 6 weeks. We're 7 periods a day, each period being 35 minutes long. And our regular camp hours are from 8:30 in the morning till 3:15 in the afternoon. That does not include our early care, which starts at 7:30, late care, which goes till 5:30. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the program. So Kiddie Camp is our first camp division. It's for campers in pre-K, kindergarten, and first grade. Each group has a head counselor who's at least 22 years old and an assistant counselor, usually about 18, 19 years old. They're freshmen in college. Most of them are education majors. So campers in Kiddie Camp get snack right after swim at 10 o'clock. They have lunch at 12 o'clock and then ice cream at 1:45. There's a maximum of 12 campers in the group with a head counselor, an assistant counselor, and most activities they go to, whether it be music, whether it be soccer, whether it be gymnastics, there's a specialist there, and that specialist is also a teacher. So you're talking about 3 staff members for a total of 12 campers. Kiddie Camp groups also will play on specialized fields that are only for Kiddie Camp. They are far away from our older campers just for safety reasons. So we also have something called Kiddie Village. Kiddie Village has bunch of playhouses and outdoor games and has motorized cars, which you can see in the picture on the slide of campers going. Those cars go about 2-3 miles an hour. Our pre-K campers get rest. They're the only group in camp that has rest right after lunch. It's for a half hour. We give them sleeping bags. They use the same sleeping bag all summer long, and then we throw the sleeping bag out. It's in a nice, dark, air-conditioned room, very comfortable for our campers. You're also getting 2 professional shows every single week on Monday and Friday: juggler, illusionists, magicians, and we'll talk about that when we look at the camp schedule for kiddie campers. So campers are inside every day from 2 o'clock on. Everything indoors is air conditioning, so we keep our little ones away from the heat so they don't get overheated by the end of the day. We have an art room dedicated just for kiddie camp where they're doing projects that are basically based for that age level. And we have a sports specialist who will go and teach soccer, wiffle ball, basketball, and dodgeball. So let's look at our kiddie camp schedule. This is just for the Water Lilies, a first grade girls group. We have over 10, 12 different groups of kiddie campers. This is just one schedule, but the schedule is similar in terms of the layout. Monday through Friday, each period being 35 minutes long with a 5-minute window to get from one activity to the other. Let's take a look and notice the only same things that you're going to have all day, every day, the continuity in the schedule for all of kiddie camp would be swim first thing in the morning. That's instructional swim. Then we have the snack. Then they start their activities. You'll notice lunch is the same time, and so is snack. Let's just look for an example, the Water Lily schedule on Monday. They've got ceramics, period 2. Then they have bounce houses. Then it's lunch. Then bubbles and wall chalk. Then they have music. Then they have snack, then camp entertainment. You'll notice also that it's indoors, outdoors, and indoors. We do that purposely so that campers are never outside too long and they get to enjoy the AC. And you'll again see that every day there's different activities. So campers are exposed to so many different creative arts, athletics, and other unique activities that Camp W has to offer. Now we're going to talk about middle camp. Middle camp is 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade. This division is a little bit different because campers in the afternoon get to choose their own schedule for 2 periods right after lunch. Each group size could be a little bit bigger. They go up to a max of 15 campers. Some of the groups, especially the second graders, usually we try and keep them around 12 or 13. Again, we have a head counselor and an assistant counselor in this group. So campers, one thing that's really popular in middle camp is campers get to go on the go-karts, which you see in the upper left-hand corner slide. You'll notice the camper with the helmet on going in the go-kart. Middle campers, we discussed, are choosing 2 of their afternoon activities. And Middle Camp Madness. This is a fun day. Parents, if you remember that show that was on Nickelodeon a long time ago, that was just so messy and they had chocolate syrup on them. That's what Middle Camp Madness is. Campers really enjoy that activity Wednesday afternoon. Let's look at a 4th grade boys schedule, the Wolf Pack. We have 2 groups for every grade level. So I've got 2 4th grade boys, 2 4th grade girls, and so on and so on. Let's look at the schedule here. You'll notice, again, 35-minute periods, Monday through Friday. In the morning, on Monday, they've got arts and crafts, then they have karate, then they have lunch. Now you see the word choice. That's where campers are choosing to do for their afternoon schedule. They have 2 choice periods. You will notice then 7th period, they go back with their group. Monday, they've got a camp show. Then Tuesday, they've got Capture the Flag. Wednesday is that program called Middle Camp Madness, I briefly discussed. Then they've got Camp Media, where they're doing podcasting and video editing. And then Friday is another show. Closing ceremonies is where campers go to their end of the day spot, and we say goodbye. Upper Camp. This is our oldest camp division. This is 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th, 8th, and 9th graders. These campers have a counselor and assistant, just like middle camp and kiddie camp. The 5th and 7th graders, though, have no more than 15 campers in the group. The only group that has a larger number is our senior campers. They get up to 20 campers. Now, our 8th and 9th grade campers, they go on trips every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. These are day trips. It could be Adventureland. It could be a Great Adventure in New Jersey. They go all over Long Island and some parts of New Jersey and Connecticut. Our 7th graders go on trips every Monday and Friday. Now, they stay only on Long Island, but they're going to trips like Splish Splash, Urban Air, and you can look at the camp calendar to see exactly where they're going. But that's every Monday and Friday they're out of camp. Now, another thing about upper camp is their entire afternoon is all choice periods. They are only with their group in the morning. Then their afternoon becomes all elective based. So what's nice about that is campers getting older and they form more independence. Campers in 5th grade generally know what they like. Some of them like sports. Some of them want nothing to do with sports. So they're choosing their whole entire schedule. And these choice periods change every 2 weeks, which we're going to get into in a little bit, talking about the choice periods. So here we're looking at the Whiz Kids. This is a 6th grade girls schedule. Same thing as upper camp, as middle camp and kiddie camp, where there's 35-minute periods. You'll notice the big changes in the afternoon. You just see choice period, choice period, choice period. But just to see it, look, on Tuesday, they've got arts and crafts and virtual reality. Every day is different activities. So again, so they're constantly exposed to different types of activities at Camp W. Now, choice periods. So we briefly discussed them. Choice periods are when a camper will select what they want to do. A camper will select them. These are for 2-week cycles. So the week 1 and 2, then week 3 and 4, and weeks 5 and 6. So there are no choice periods week 7, 8, 9 due to special events and trip weeks. So campers will choose their choice period. And let's just say they don't love the activity they're in. The next day on Tuesday, they can switch into another choice period. Then they have to remain in that activity for the rest of the choice period cycle, which is another 8 days. Let's look at a schedule. This is for weeks 1 and 2 for this upcoming summer of 2026. You'll see, first of all, the activities are color-coded. Sports are in red. Arts and crafts are in green, specialties in purple, performing arts are in tan, and technologies in blue. Then you'll notice period 5, which is 12:35 to 1:10. It's a 35-minute period. Grades 2 and 3, they've got several different choices. Let's look at them. Gaga, wiffle ball, ceramics, activities room, water slides, bounce houses, game room, just dance, the camp show, Wizard of Oz, and music. That's all their different choices for weeks 1 and 2 that campers that are in 2nd and 3rd grade can decide to do. 4th and 5th graders have basketball, handball, pickleball, gymnastics, weaving, VR, water slides, delicious desserts, and Camp Show Wizard of Oz, and so on and so on. So you'll notice that our 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, 6th and 7th, and 8th and 9th graders, they are grouped by 2 grade levels. So they're never with kids that are much older or much younger than them. Now, the one big difference is you'll see in the 2nd and 3rd grade column, it says NA. That means not available because period 7, there are no choice periods for our 2nd and 3rd graders or 4th graders. It's only 5th grade and up. These choices will change as we're going to look now. This is weeks 3 and 4. Notice it's completely different choices for campers. So even though they may have loved what they did weeks 1 and 2, now you've got completely new opportunities to be exposed to even more new activities, or you can take some of the same activities that you had weeks 1 and 2. Same process of grades 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7, 8 and 9. Now we're at to weeks 5 and 6. This is the last choice period cycle for the summer. Remember, if your child chooses something they don't love, after the first day on Tuesday, they can switch, but then they would remain for the remaining 8 days of this cycle. Same thing applies. Just remember, our 7th graders are only there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday because they're on trips Monday and Friday, and our 8th and 9th graders are only there Monday and Friday because they're on trips Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So a little bit about myself, just so you know. I am a retired middle school math teacher. I taught for 25 years. I've got 40 years, I can't even believe this, 40 years of camp experience. I started working at camp when I was 15. So if you can do the math, you know how old I am. I am married with 3 children. All 3 of my kids went to Camp W. My youngest is actually a senior girl. This is her last summer at Camp W. I'm kind of sad. And my son works at camp as well. I live in Melville. I work at camp 7 days a week, so you will have access to me, my cell phone number. You can text me, you can call me. It's not a sales pitch. I really am in the office 7 days a week. Besides my family, camp is the most important thing to me. As you see on the slide, my cell phone number is there. My email number is there. You can write that down now. If you've spoken to me already on the phone, then you know I've already given it to you. Again, feel free to contact me whenever you need to, anything related to camp. Okay, so we're going to talk about safety and security. We do have a security guard that is always on site at the entrance of camp. And we have 2 people up there. One is we have what's called the security tent, which you can see in the second slide where there's a white Mercedes. You'll see the security tent is there. He's always there greeting people before they can go down into the parking lot. And then at the center of the front of school where you'll see the 2 school buses in the slide, there's someone sitting there as well. So there's 2 people to always greet someone before they can just come into camp. We do this purposely so that we can check ID. Before you can get anywhere near our campers, we want to make sure that whoever's coming into camp, it's safe that they can enter camp. We also have a third security person who is basically just a welcomer. When you come in and you drive through the parking lot, they will welcome you, whether you're picking your child up for a doctor's appointment or they're going home early or dropping off late. That person will escort your child into the camp office once we sign them in and then get them to the group right away. We also do safety drills. We'll do a fire drill every single Monday in the afternoon or in the morning, and we also do a lockdown drill a couple times during the summer. Just for preventative reasons, just to make sure campers always know what to do and staff always know what to do in the sense of an emergency. Let's talk about drop-off procedures.
Hi everyone. Here at Camp W, we have a very efficient and easy arrival process. As you can see, we have cones set up to help guide you to staff members who are eagerly waiting to greet your campers. Notice the cones are set up to lead you to the curb. Please make sure you are pulling your vehicle along the curb to the next available staff member. Please note that you are to pull all the way up to the staff member at the far end of the parking lot to allow cars to pull up behind you if needed. Once your camper has been dropped off and received by staff, please continue to pull out of the parking lot to allow for an easier flow of traffic in and out of the parking lot. As you can see, Camp W staff is here to help you at all times. Once you pull up to the first available staff member, they will walk up to your car, open the door, and help your camper out. They will then send your camper to the tent area so they can join their group and get ready to have a wonderful day. Upon leaving, there will be cones that will set up 2 departure lanes. Please note you are to go into the lane of the direction you are turning. Left side of the cones must turn left, while right side of the cones must turn right. All this allows for a smooth flow of traffic and an easier arrival process. Lastly, please note during the arrival process, no cars will be allowed down our Lot B parking lot, as this lot is reserved for our camp buses to drop children off. Following all these procedures will lead to a smooth arrival process and be the start of a wonderful day here at Camp W.
Now we're going to talk about our dismissal process. Watch this video.
Hi everyone. Here at Camp W, we have a very efficient dismissal process. As you can see, we have 3 rows that are created by all the cones you see. The cars parked in the row closest to the curb must exit right when leaving the camp. The cars parked furthest from the curb must exit left when leaving the camp. And finally, cars in the middle may leave in either direction. Once our Lot A, which is what you are seeing here, is filled up, staff will come around and write down the children's names in the order of the cars to make it a smooth transition when retrieving your child for pickup from the cafeteria. Please note that there are 2 lanes when leaving the camp. You must turn in the direction of the lane you are in, meaning left lane goes left and right lane goes right. After retrieving your children from the cafeteria, staff members will walk each child to their respective cars and assist them in getting in ready to go. As you can see, staff walks the children out in a specific line to know which car each child belongs to. Once we are ready to begin the departure process, staff members will remove the cones from the left and right lanes first, allowing those cars to begin their journey home. Remember, you must turn out of the camp in the direction of your lane. Lane closest to the curb turns right, lane furthest from the curb turns left. Doing so allows for a smooth departure with no backups in line. After both rows are clear, a staff member will release the middle row to depart. Remember, the middle row can choose which direction to go into. Please make sure you are going into the lane that turns in the direction you need to go. After Lot A has departed, cars in Lot B will begin to head towards the exit of camp. Just like the middle row, Lot B cars can choose which lane to go into. Evan will pause Lot B for a couple of minutes to allow traffic on Wolf Hill Road to clear. Once traffic is clear, Evan will begin to release the Lot B cars. What you are seeing here is Lot B. As you can see, cars departing Lot B will leave the same way as Lot A. Staff members will be outside waving you on and wishing you a wonderful rest of your day. Upon arrival to the camp, cars going down into Lot B will check in with staff to tell them which camper they are picking up. They will then travel down the parking lot and loop around where their camper will be waiting for them with a staff member in hand. The staff will walk your child to the car and assist them in getting in and ready to go. Once they are all set, Lot B will be released to begin your journey home.
Okay, let's talk about bus transportation. So, we offer busing to several local towns that are within reach of Melville. Some of those towns would be Comac, East Northport, Greenlawn, Syosset, Plainview, Old Bethpage, South Huntington, Dix Hills. Those are the towns that we will provide busing. Now, let's say you live in a town that doesn't provide busing. You can meet at a destination stop, which I would suggest you call the office. We can explain that a little bit more, but we can get you on a bus. It just won't be door to door. Our buses are 30-seaters. There's air conditioning. We have a school bus driver and a bus counselor. The bus counselor is really responsible for dealing with your child and communicating with you, putting the seatbelt on, taking attendance. The bus driver is simply driving the bus and is not to be disturbed due to safety reasons. The transportation is door to door as long as you're starting camp the first week and will attend 4 consecutive weeks, or starting week 5 and attending for 4 consecutive weeks. Otherwise, you'd be meeting at a destination stop closest to your house. Things to know about some of our Camp W staff, and they are the backbone of camp. I always say this to parents: as wonderful as the activities are at camp and as nice as the facility is, it's really the staff that is engaged and the ones that are making these memories with your children. And why do I think my staff is so great? Well, I mean, number one, I'm going to give you a hint. I'm not the easiest guy to work for, but I will tell you that I demand a lot because I want campers to have a wonderful experience. And we get that from enthusiasm, from professionalism, which I think our staff really exhibits. More than half of them come back summer after summer. They're teachers. They don't want to teach summer school. They don't want to write curriculum, so they want to be in a fun, enjoyable environment like Camp W. A lot of my parents will call me during the year, and as the slide says, they're looking for a babysitter. They want a coach. They need a tutor, and they're coming directly to me, which basically says to me they love our staff. You can read all the testimonials on Google that we have on the website. Please look at them. So how do I find this great staff? Not easy. So a lot of my staff comes through referrals from other staff members. Or I also use a couple of sites like Handshake and Indeed. Those are employment sites to try and find staff. And what happens is, normally when I see a resume that I really like, the first thing I'll do is I'll interview them, a Zoom interview. And then if I really like them, I will have one of my directors join the second interview, and then we will interview them, and then we'll check the references, we check their social media, and then we hire them for camp, and they obviously come to our staff training before camp starts, and that's how they become a team member at Camp W. So let's talk about all the fun at Camp W. This is the best part, right? Kids, I know you're getting excited right now. I hope your mouth is dropping when you're looking at this slide. When you see the creative arts are in green. You'll notice most of them are art affiliated, but we also have cooking, we have music, we have dance, we've got the camp show, which we perform every single year. We have science labs. So there's a lot of different activities in that creative arts column. Then we're going to talk about sports, the athletics. We've got kickball, we've got basketball, we have gaga, we have soccer, we have baseball, we have softball, we have floor hockey. It just keeps going at Camp W. And besides all those sports, then we've got some really unique activities that some people may not think you would have at camp. Camp Lounge, where you're talking about Pop-A-Shot, air hockey, foosball taker, soccer table, Camp Media, which is podcasting and videotaping and editing. We've got the camp show, we talked about that. We've got a game room which has Xbox, PlayStation, Just Dance. The Fun Room, which is a camp cafe with board games and indoor lawn games. We've got the go-karts. We've got a kiddie lounge. We've got lip sync, minute to win it room, where campers are trying to solve these different activities within a minute. And they go from table to table. It's so much fun. Plastic models, rockets. We've got Ninja Warrior course. We've got a Nerf battlefield. We've got water slides, bounce houses, virtual reality, remote control cars. There's just so many different unique activities and so much for your child to choose. So campers, I know if you're watching this video with mom and dad right now, you're getting so excited. Woo! So what's new for this summer? Well, we've got Fun Room and the Music Room. These are two new activities that we're doing. Every summer we try and have one or two new rooms at Camp W, and this is what we have. This Fun Room and the Music Room. We're really excited about that. So if you look at these pictures, Camp W in action, you'll notice kids are playing sports. They're all involved, and that's what it's all about. You notice that kids aren't sitting. So that's the common theme. It's something that's very important to me, that campers are always engaged. There's no downtime at Camp W. Let's talk about swimming. Obviously, when you think of day camp, you automatically think of swimming. Our camp program is at the Dix Hills Community Pool. We lease the pool for an hour. We bus the campers over. It's about a 7-8 minute ride. Depends on how many traffic lights we hit. We're just going basically up Wolf Hill Road. We cross over Deer Park Avenue, and then we're right at the camp pool. So campers swim for approximately 40 minutes with Red Cross swim instructor and one of their counselors are in the water the entire time. Swim groups, 6, 5, 7 campers. And again, our counselors are in the water along with the swimming instructor as well. And then we also have a buddy check, which we're going to get into in a minute. Let's take a look. Here's our buddy check.
Here at Camp W, pool safety is a top priority. This is why midway through our swim time, we run a safety procedure called a buddy check. A buddy check is a system where kids are paired up with a buddy and are given a specific number. It is signified by a long whistle from a lifeguard. When heard, campers know they must exit the pool immediately and stay silent during the entire procedure. Then, Evan and a pool activities leader will walk around and call each buddy pair and wait for them to raise their hands, signifying they are present and out of the water. As you can see, campers are paired with a group mate and must then sit next to their buddy, awaiting to hear their names and raise their hands. As an extra safety procedure, we also have counselors sign campers out whenever they need to use a bathroom or retrieve anything from the locker room. This way, we know where every camper is at all times. Once the procedure is complete, Evan will let the staff and children know and allow them back into the water for the remainder of swim. Procedures like this ensure our campers are always safe and are having the most fun at camp.
Water slides. So we have bounce houses and water slides that are come to camp. Water slides are Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Our bounce houses are on Mondays and Fridays. The water slides, they range from about 15 to 20 feet high. Campers really enjoy them. They're going to use our locker rooms to get changed, so you want to bring an extra bathing suit as well. I always tell parents, bring that big jumbo Ziploc bag. You throw the bathing suit in the Ziploc bag and keep it in your bag so that everything else in your camp bag doesn't get wet. Campers can choose the water slide anytime during choice periods. Now, some groups are going to have water slides on their schedule, some will not. But campers always have the availability to go on water slides during choice periods. Special events. So we talked about campers and following that schedule earlier in the program. So weeks 1 through 6, that's what campers are doing. They're following their camp schedule, and there we go. But week 7 comes completely different. You can throw that schedule away because this is our special events week. That means we don't have regular activities. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of week 7, which is August 10th to the 14th, we have something called Color War. This is where we're splitting the camp from blue and red teams, and they're competing in a variety of different activities. Very, very high energy, a lot of rah-rah. So this is something, if you really like that rah-rah spirit, this is a wonderful week for you to be attending camp. Then on Thursday, we have the Camp Carnival. The entire camp is outside doing bungee jumping, foam pits, rock climbing wall. We've got bounce houses. We've got actual rides that are brought into camp for kids to enjoy. It is just an awesome day. Cotton candy, ices, you name it. It is an extremely popular day. Everyone goes home exhausted from the Camp Carnival. And that Friday, we have special shows like the staff talent show, camper talent show, and some kids go on a trip. That's a great week. It's all special events. Again, there's no regular schedule. Looking at Color War, campers are split into red and blue, rah-rah, Congratulations again to the blue team for winning this past summer. New campers are assigned to a team, and then your child will stay on that team summer after summer, just so you know you never change from one team to another. Activities include tug of war, egg toss, cheese doodle throw, so many wonderful things, and there's so many videos of color war on our YouTube channel. Make sure you check that out. And then the last day, it concludes with a group dance, a lip sync, and a cheer. It is so competitive, but yet so much fun. Week 8, now week 7 is done, our special events are done. Now week 8 comes, and we show up to camp. And literally 15 minutes after arriving at camp, we're gone. We're on trips. And you'll see week 8, some of the trips, the whole camp goes together, and then sometimes they split up the age-appropriate trips. So just to give you an example, on Monday, campers pre-K through 3rd grade are going to the aquarium and safari adventure, where my older campers are going to Area 53 in Brooklyn. And every day it's a different trip. You'll see the schedule. It's right there. You can also look at all this on our camp calendar. Week 9. Now this week is our last week of camp. And I should let everyone know that we have a lot less campers and a lot less staff this week. We only have about 150 campers this week. We added this week of camp because so many parents wanted their campers something to do because they had to go to work. So that's why we added week 9 several summers ago. Adventureland on Monday, Dave & Buster's on Tuesday, Explore on Wednesday, bowling and the movies on Thursday, and Urban Air on Friday. Now, just so you know, we rent out Explore on Wednesday, we rent out Urban Air, so it's just us, and we rent out Dave & Buster's. So, and the movie theater, it's just us in the movies. So it's really nice because we don't have to worry about being exposed to, other people in the public. This is a fun week again. This is our last week of camp, and this week we actually go till 4 o'clock. Normally campers are done by 3:15, but this week we actually get back to camp at like 3:45 from the trip, 3:40, and then campers go home. Let's talk about early care and late care, because we've really been talking about a program that started at 8:30 to 3:15. However, some parents need to utilize early care or late care, or some utilize both. Early care starts at 7:30 in the morning, so you can drop your child off anytime from 7:30 to 8:20, regardless of the time. They will then come into camp and they can either play a board game, they can do an arts and crafts project, or they can play a sport of their liking. That is in the morning. Late care, which will happen right after camp at 3:15 dismissal, campers will have a snack. Then they will be selected to go to one of several rooms they're assigned by grade level. Whether it's the VR room, whether it's the activities room, they're in there in the air conditioning, and parents can pick up anytime from 3:30 till 5:30. Any day of the week, but you must utilize this every day. You can't be in early care and late care 2 days a week and regular track up the other 3. It has to be consistent. Let's talk about parent communication. Because we're a smaller camp, we really prioritize communicating with parents. So besides you getting emails and texts from the camp office, you're also going to get a phone call from your child's counselor every week, either on a Thursday or Friday. And we have something called call logs, where we document exactly what we're saying. If you look on the slide, you could see the documentation. This is just for us to have a record of what the phone call was, and also allows the parent to ask any questions. Who does Jeffrey hang out with? What does he like to do at camp? What activities is he really doing well in? Where do you think he maybe needs a little extra hand or a little push to be more involved in? Those are the kind of conversations that parents and our staff have. So besides those phone calls, besides the reminders that we're going to send home on a weekly basis, the emails and the texts, we also have something called Waldo Photos, where our camp photographer takes your child's picture. Now, when you sign up for this, on your phone, you're automatically going to get that picture sent to you in a text message. So you don't have to scroll through the 150 pictures that we upload every day on our website. You'll directly get that right on your phone, which I think is a really cool feature. And let's look next. Why choose Camp W? I mean, that really is the whole purpose, is you want to have your child somewhere where they're having a wonderful camp experience. And I really believe Camp W is a great place for that. I mean, alternating between indoor and outdoor so your child's not overheated. That is a feature that many parents love, that the campers can be indoors half the day, outdoors half the day. The small group sizes. That quote that we always say, your child is a big fish in a small pond. That is so perfect for Camp W. Rainy days, we don't really get hurt by that because we've got an indoor facility. We have a cafeteria, gym, and 19 classrooms for us to utilize when the weather's bad. So we're nice and safe in this nice brick building. And many of our counselors and specialists are teachers, so they really have the experience in terms of working with campers. Let's talk about lunch. So lunch happens at 12 o'clock till 12:30. Our food is delivered from Mario's. Mario's is right down the road on Schwab Road. The food is phenomenal. And this year we've added a chicken sandwich to the menu on Friday. So if you look real quick on Friday, you've got a hamburger, hot dog, or chicken sandwich option. Every single day, lunch is offered with bottled water, chips, and either apple slices or Oreo cookies. And you could see it's food generally that kids really love. Now, let's say your child doesn't like one of those selections. They can always bring in their lunch from home. Make sure their name and group name is in on the lunch bag, and we will refrigerate it for you and bring it to them at 12 o'clock. So what's included in our tuition? Well, that's a good question. Everything. There are no add-ons at camp. So early care, late care, bus transportation, 5 camp shirts, camp bag, water bottle, everything's included. There are no add-ons for anything that we discussed. The only difference is week 8 and 9. The price is different than the first 7 weeks of camp, which you'll see on our website. But otherwise, everything is included in the price. Let's look at the camp tuition now. So this chart gives you, which is also on our website, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, etc. You don't have to do consecutive weeks. You can pick and choose whatever weeks you want. Just remember, if you want door-to-door bus transportation, it must be 4 consecutive weeks starting week 1 or week 5. Now, late bird rates, depending upon when you're watching this virtual tour right now. If you're watching it after May 1st, be careful because then the rates go up, as you can see. So hint, make sure you sign up before May. Also, there's a 3% convenience fee if you're using a credit card. That fee will stay on until you have paid your entire tuition. Whether you use a credit card or you decide to pay by check and not use the credit card, then we'll remove that fee once your tuition is paid. Notice week 8 and 9, though. That is a different rate. Week 8 and 9, due to the trips, is $1,000 per week, regardless of how many weeks you're coming. That is a set price. The only people who paid a different price are people who took advantage of our early bird rates that ended on September 15th. Discounts. Let's talk about discounts. Sibling discount, $25 off per week for the second child and $50 off for the third child. Also, if you are doing your own driving, meaning you're driving your child to camp and they're not utilizing early or late care, then you get $25 off per child per week. If your child is attending camp for the 5th summer or more, we give you $150 off. It's our way of saying thank you for being part of Camp W community for so long. This is what makes everybody smile. As you can see these pictures, it's the campers. It's the having a wonderful camp experience, and that's what it's all about. So our open house dates, which are going to be February 28th and April 25th, both will start at 12 o'clock and go till 2. You can scan the code to RSVP. But I will tell you, if you've watched this virtual tour and you watch all the videos on our website, like our promotional video, what campers say, the weekly summer videos from summer of 2025, go on our YouTube channel and watch the plethora of videos that we have on there. You really don't need to come to the open house. But by all means, even if you've already signed up and you're watching this, you certainly can come to the open house. But just remember, spots fill up. Unfortunately, we may not have room for you when it comes to April. So that's why I say to you, you may not really need the open house. However, if you want to, by all means, sign up for the open house. Now let's talk about some frequently asked questions. What if we sign up for 6 weeks and my child wants to stay longer? This happens all the time. Parents want to try out camp. You can do that. You call the office, you email us, and you say, hey, we want to extend my camp's time and my child's time at Camp W. As long as we have the room, we're happy to do that. The only thing is we can't guarantee that because we don't know how many campers are in each group. What towns? We talked about the busing. We talked about, in order to get door to door, that you have to start week 1, week 5. It's got to be 4 consecutive weeks. Are you a peanut-free camp? How do you handle allergies? So, I want to be very clear. We are not a peanut-free camp. We cannot control what campers bring into camp from bringing their own lunch. So if you have a severe allergy and you're airborne, then we are not the right day camp for you. We want to be upfront about that. We just don't want to take any chances. We certainly don't want anyone to get sick or hurt at Camp W. By all means, you can call and speak to our nurses. We've got 2 camp nurses. One is a retired school nurse. The other is an emergency room nurse. You can get advice from them, but we are not a peanut-free camp. Do you have medical personnel on staff? I kind of just answered that. Just so you know, our first nurse, retired camp nurse, she's been with me since we started the camp. And our second nurse is an emergency room nurse who is stationed outside. So I have one nurse who is inside in the camp office, one is outside. So if a child is hurt outside, quicker response time, and the camper that is hurt or sick inside, quicker response time. Can I pick and choose the weeks? You can pick and choose whatever weeks you want. Just know that weeks 8 and 9 sell out the fastest due to them being trips. But otherwise, you can pick and choose whatever weeks you want. And again, they don't have to be consistent. We talked about the bus transportation program. So what do campers do in lake care? This is a good one. So campers will be assigned. Okay, I want to say this again. They don't just pick. They're assigned rooms every single day. And one day you could be in the fun room. One day you could be in the activities room. One day you could be watching a movie. One day you're assigned to the gym. Every day we assign them to different rooms so that they can do different activities in the afternoon. And let's say mom or dad comes to pick them up 4:30. Security will call them on the walkie-talkie. We then escort the child right to the parents outside. We sign them out. We escort the child, bring them, put them right in the car, seatbelt on. Boom. It's a really fast process. So don't worry about leaving work. You have to run home, pick up your child at camp. We'll have them waiting for you. You'll show up to camp. You'll be gone within a minute. So it's a pretty quick process. Okay. So I want to thank all of you for watching our virtual open house. We look forward to seeing you soon. And by all means, if you have any questions, any concerns, you saw my cell phone. It was on the slide, my email address. Call me, text me, call the camp office. I am available to discuss anything with you at all. We really do look forward to meeting you, and hopefully you feel that Camp W is the right camp for your child. Thanks so much, guys.